Hi, my name is Jen, and I'm with the Volusia County Public Library Hope Place branch. And today we'll be making this fun and easy painted rock cactus craft. It's a plant that you'll never have to water, but it'll always be talked about. So stick around while I get the supplies together. The supplies that we're going to need for our cactus craft today, we're going to start with rocks. So you can go outside and choose 5 or 6 different size rocks, any shape that you like. Just be sure that you can clean them off really well so that your paint will adhere to the rock, and also keep in mind the size of the planter that you've chosen for your craft. If you can't find the proper rocks outside, you can go to the crafting store and choose a crafting rock. If you would like to add the little flower to the top of your cactus or a little ladybug into your craft, they also have these little river pebbles that paint really well for that. You'll need to select what kind of pot that you're going to have your cactus plants in. You can use a terracotta, you can use this as a plastic one, a smaller one, or even a glass, whatever you'd like. You will need sand, you can use any color sand you'd like, or some kind of small pebble for inside of the pot. Also, we will again be using acrylic paints today, so you will need 2 different colors of your favorite shades of green. If you're going to be making the ladybug, you will obviously need the white, the red, and the black. Now, we also need any size paintbrush you want, but I'm going to go with a 1-inch paintbrush for our rocks, and then a detail brush if we're going to be doing, you can use this for the little thorns on the cactus or to paint your ladybug. Now, if you would like to purchase a paint marker, that was much easier on these rocks to make the little cactus thorns, or you could do it in black, whichever you prefer. And lastly, we will be using hot glue today, and we are using the hot glue gun holder from a previous video. I will include this link in the captions. Now let's get started. So not only is rock painting fun, but it's also very simple. I've already started with the light green. What I did was I put a nice coat on the first top, and I went down on the sides as much as I could, and I'm going to let that set. It'll take a couple minutes. The acrylic paint is pretty quick to dry. So then what I did is I'm going to move on to my darker green while the lighter is setting, and just paint the top and as far down on the sides as you can. And I'm just going to let that rest and dry. We'll flip it over and paint the other side. I finished painting all of the rocks on both sides, and I'm letting them set because they need to be really dry for the next part of our craft. I've also chosen a couple of these smaller rocks and did them in both shades so I can have several different sizes of cactus throughout our craft. I found a couple of pebble size rocks that I painted pink. You can select any color that you'd like. This will be the little flower that goes on top of the cactus. While all of our rocks are drying, this is a perfect time to go ahead and paint our little ladybug if you wanted to add one to your craft. Now that our rocks are dry, we're going to start to assemble our craft. So for the little pot that I've chosen, I'm going to fill it with these little white rocks, and for the larger glass bowl, I have this beautiful green sand. It's finally time to paint our rocks to look like cactus. So you can either go with the thin brush with the black or the white acrylic paint, depending on what color you would like your thorns to be. But I found it to be easier to either use a black Sharpie, or we are going to use the white paint marker. To decorate these rocks to look like cactus, there is no rhyme or reason. We have several different patterns here. I made lines straight down all the way around the rock and put a little X on the middle of each line. And then on one of the rocks, spirals all around. We have our X's that look like thorns, single dots. I got some squiggly little lines. And then for our larger rocks, what I did was I'm going to go ahead and do basically like an upside down arrow. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just like that, all over the rock. To create the little flower top that we're going to put on a couple of the cactus, all you do is you take your little pebble and just do like a half starburst pattern. The first craft that we're going to put together is the smaller pot with the gravel. Make sure that your gravel is at least a ½ inch below the top of the pot, and we have some off to the side to fill in around the rocks, because we're going to have to push the rocks down into the gravel and then add a little bit more gravel around them to secure them. So go ahead and pick your favorite rock, a larger rock that can fit well in the pot, and then we're just going to push it down. Keep it near the back of the pot. And then from there, we're just going to decorate around and add as many as we'd like. You can choose different colors. You can go with the same color, different decorations. We have a whole assortment here. This is our completed smaller rock cactus craft. It's adorable. I mixed up the colors and the designs, and we even added our little ladybug. The gravel one is just a little bit harder because you do have to manipulate the rocks and the stones a bit. And I just filled in more gravel around the little parts that I thought needed more stability. But it's adorable. So let's get started on our next one. Now we're on to our second version of our planter. We're going to pick our favorite rock, keep it towards the back, and the sand is a lot easier to work with. So what we needed the glue gun for was to attach our little flowers to the tops. Now that our main cactus has its flower, I have so many different rocks left with many different designs and the 2 shades of green. I'm going to go ahead and start placing them around in my planter. And this is our completed rock cactus craft using a larger planter and the sand as the base. It was definitely easier than the gravel. I was able to get way more rocks into this one, so it's more color and there's more design, as well as I added an extra flower and I glued down the little ladybug. I just want to say thank you for joining me on my crafting video today. Be sure to head over to volusialibrary.org, where you can search for books, DVDs, or magazines where you can get more crafting inspiration. Also, we have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a YouTube channel where Volusia is getting crafty. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so you get a notification when we upload a new video. I'll see you in my next video. Happy crafting!